So I've been pregnant and given birth 5 times, all without an epidural. And one of my biggest tips for having an epidural-free birth is changing positions. So don't stay in any position for too long. It helps to facilitate labor and hopefully helps you have a faster labor if you are changing positions often. So by often, I mean at least every 30 minutes to an hour, you want to be changing positions. Actually, laying in a bed on your back is one of the worst labor positions you can be in because it doesn't allow baby to move down to where they need to be for delivery. So being in upright positions is really good for labor. Moving around, walking, especially in early labor when you have a little bit more energy and you're not as drained, really helps. Bouncing on an exercise ball, laying on your side but with your legs propped up or with pillows stacked high in between your legs, all of that really helps. So definitely change positions as often as you can. So my next tip for an epidural-free birth is breathing. I cannot overemphasize enough just how much focusing on your breath and paying attention to how you are breathing will help with your labor, will help with your pain levels, because it will keep you mindful to take deep breaths so that you can stay calm and your body stays calm. When you hyperventilate, you're actually sending your body into a state of panic, and that is not good for you. It's not good for your baby, because in that moment you're not getting enough oxygen that you need, and neither is your baby during the course of labor. So just taking your time to try to be intentional with your breath will help you with your pain levels. For me, it was one of the things, besides the other video that I talked about changing positions during your labor, that really helped me to just focus in. How am I breathing? Am I breathing in deeply? Am I breathing in as slowly as I can to make sure that my body stays in a state of calm so that I can handle the pain of these contractions? So yes, that is another big tip for your birth. Okay, so my next tip for an epidural-free birth is acupressure and counter pressure. So during labor, I really like the sensation of my hand being squeezed. For me, that kind of took my mind off of the intensity of the contractions. So it was kind of like putting the pain in another place, if that makes sense. So it helps if your partner can squeeze your hand. It really helped me if someone squeezed my hand during the entirety of a contraction. So when I would feel one coming on, I would have someone squeeze my hand really tightly, and I would squeeze their hand really tightly as well, and that really helped me get through some of those intense contractions at the end of labor. Another thing that also helps is acupressure. So that's different pressure points in the body that are known to, if you press them, lower your sensation of pain. There is one really great one in the foot, so if you would like to know what that one is, keep following me here to learn that. Another thing that helped with my labor contractions without an epidural was telling myself that I could do almost anything for a minute. So when I would feel a contraction coming on, I just would say, I got this, I got this, I got this. I would repeat that over in my head. Another thing that also really helped was visualization. So just kind of like, for me, contractions are like waves, or I liken it to the ocean. So just when one would come on, I could almost always tell when I'm about to have one. I don't know, it's just this weird feeling that you get in your body at the beginning of a contraction. So I would, recognize and notice that feeling, and then say, I can ride this wave out. And those two things, like just visualizing the ocean, waves coming up and then going back out to the shore, that's kind of like what a contraction is to me. So of course you have your peaks, you have your intensity, but then it dies down. So that definitely helped me, and I know that I can do almost anything for at least 1 minute at a time. So one more thing that really helped me to have my epidural-free births was telling myself that the pain had a purpose. So of course through labor, when you're having your contractions, it is painful. Like, I'm not going to sit on here and lie and tell you that it's not painful. It is painful, especially going through transition and at the very end of labor. But I always told myself that, it's a purpose. I'm not going through this for no reason. The contractions are bringing my baby down and out, and of course that's what you want, so you can have a vaginal delivery. So I welcomed the pain. Like, I knew it had a purpose, so it's not like I was suffering, endlessly. I knew it wasn't going to last forever. And like I said in my other TikTok, you have that break in between contractions to regroup and kind of get yourself together before the next wave or the next contraction comes. So yes, pain with a purpose is something that I repeated to myself throughout all my labors.